Alright, got a quick video for y'all. At the time of filming this, gas prices are just absolutely out of control. I think just drove by a gas station the other day, earlier today, and it was like $4.60 a gallon. So at the time of filming this, pretty crazy, so that's why I'm putting out this video. And I'm just going to be going over some tips for y'all for how to increase your gas mileage and make every drop matter. So as you see, I've got my gas tank lid open, and one of the things that I want to cover is going over top tier fuel. So don't go to just some hole in the wall place. Usually when you go to a gas station, try to stick to the same one that you always go to. Don't try to mix them up. Just keep going to the same one that you choose, but choose one with good top tier fuels. If you go up to the pump, there's usually a top tier fuel logo that we'll have on the pump. That way, you know, you're getting good quality fuel. A lot of these are put at Costco. That's where I usually go, is Costco. I think I also heard some Amicos and BPs and Shells have top tier fuels, so make sure you're getting those fuels. And next I would like to say is make sure that you're just gonna empty all weight in your car. So as you see here, I've got some toolboxes and a cat that I'm gonna sell, and earlier today I dropped off some scrap metal. So get rid of any unnecessary weight. That's just gonna add on to more that you're hauling, so you're just naturally gonna be burning more gas. Another thing to check is just your tire pressure, usually on the inside of the tire here, or on the inside of your door panel. It's going to tell you how high you should be filling it. Just make sure you're filling the air to the top recommended PSI, so that way you're getting less surface contact in the tires, so you're getting less friction and less drag essentially. Another thing is with the tires, if you're getting new tires on, or you've done any work recently, just make sure that you're getting an alignment done on your tires. That way your tires won't be pitched at an angle, which would create drag. If they're like angled outwards from each other inward, it's just going to create more resistance as you're driving, so that'll reduce your fuel economy. Another thing I like to say here is if you take your tires off, make sure to grease your brake calipers. There's pins in here, and sometimes you can get stuck brake calipers, and they'll essentially be rubbing your brake pads against your rotors, creating resistance. And just as your brake calipers get older, that's something that could happen. So every once in a while, just every year or so, just whenever you're changing out your brake pads in general, just make sure to grease those pins in your calipers. There's brake caliper grease you can buy from any auto parts store, and that should help. Another thing I like to go over is one thing I like to use is this stuff right here. It's called Lucas Fuel Injector Cleaner and Upper Cylinder Lubricant. You can get this from any store. I would say run 2 or 3 treatments of that. Essentially what you do is you take one of these little guys and you pour them in your gas tank when you go to fill it up. Just one, and then run it to empty, and then do it again. Just 2 or 3 times. This is essentially going to clean your fuel injectors, so it sprays fuel more evenly into your where your pistons are and your spark plugs to ignite more evenly, and upper cylinder lubricant to keep your piston rings lubricated and those walls in there as your pistons go up and down. So obviously you don't want to go overkill with this. A lot of mechanics say that they can tell once they open up an engine instantly if fuel injector cleaner has been cleaned. So after you do this, I probably recommend doing it closer to an oil change so that you can change out your oil at the same time. But yeah, so that should help. I've had good results with that. Another thing is I'm gonna get in here and start up my car. Make sure you address any check engine lights you might have. A lot of times, if you have check engine lights, that could be related to fuel economy things, or a lot of common codes would be like a P0420. Hold on. As you can see here, I do mostly city driving, and even though I've been hauling around some scrap metal, I've got let's see here. about almost 37 miles per gallon city, which is pretty good. But I have been hauling some scrap, but you can see I've done some tune-ups on this car to try to squeeze every mile out of it. But anyways, what I was saying was a very common error code is P0420, which is catalytic converter efficiency is low. So you could be having problems with your catalytic converter or oxygen sensors, which could be giving you poor fuel economy. So I'll go over that right up here. So a lot of times I've noticed with people, and I've actually bought a car that had this problem, they'll have like a oil leak on their gasket to their valve cover, and that'll leak into the spark wells, and then eventually that'll shoot out oil through your catalytic converter here and cause it to become oil contaminated and fouled. And that will make the cat less efficient over time as it converts it and pushes it out through the exhaust. So, and here's your oxygen sensors. A lot of times you can maybe run some clean, see if that might help, but otherwise you're just probably gonna have to replace your catalytic converter, and that's an expensive job. So if you're getting P0420 codes, maybe just try to run some clean catalytic converter treatment through your fuel and see if that helps. Another thing is you could clean or replace your O2 sensors, but generally you want to do those at the same time. But that could be affecting your fuel economy. So just keep an eye out if you have any of that. But otherwise, another thing, a real easy one to do is your spark plugs. You probably want to replace those every 50, 100,000 miles, just depends. But, you know, they're spark plugs, 10 bucks a pop usually, or around that. So just do them. Another thing are these coil packs. You might want to do those at the same time if it's been a while, just so you get a real clean ignition, and you're not you're not having misfires or anything that would cause issues. Another thing is another cheap, quick thing, which would just take a minute, is your engine air filter. So make sure you change out your engine air filter. It's like 20 bucks and 2 seconds of time. I'd probably just say, obviously, oil changes, full synthetic, every 3,000 to 5,000 miles. Usually try to do mine every 3,000 or 4,000 miles. You probably want to use something, if you're not in the northern states, something with less heavy viscosity. I'm using 5W20 in this, full synthetic, and I do my oil change every 3,000 to 4,000 miles with a quality filter, just because I want my engine to last, forever if possible. Another thing you could try to do is down by your throttle body here, you might want to take out your mass airflow sensor and clean that. They sell special cleaners at auto parts store specifically for your mass airflow sensor. Another thing is, if you haven't changed your thermostat for your coolant in a while, just change that. And so those are my recommendations for under the hood. Other things you can do, which is probably I recommended, is your driving habits. Make sure if you're on the highway, just keep it under 65 miles per hour. Maybe try to drive behind a semi or something to reduce that drag. So if you're, just keep it, under 65 miles per hour. Set it to cruise control if you can. Maybe drive behind a semi, like I just said, to reduce that wind resistance. I would recommend not driving with your AC on, because that takes up more fuel to run your air conditioning. If you're going lower speeds, just crack your windows down. If you're going higher speeds, that would create more wind resistance. So at that point, you could switch to AC if you need it. And another thing, especially for the SUVs, is roof racks. If you got anything on your roof rack, luggage, take it off. More wind resistance. And I would say go easier with your acceleration. Ford Focus this has a dual clutch issue, so when it starts slipping, you kind of want to drive it hard. But for any other car, you're just going to want to accelerate slowly, not as hard, drive like a grandma. And so those are just some quick tips. Maybe you've heard of these, maybe some you haven't, but whatever we can get in this economy, just every little drop matters. So that's it.